This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drop kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
There is the monument here in Rapid City, and inside the monument is the Summit Arena. It's the site of the 2026 South Dakota High School Class A Boys Basketball Tournament. I'm Craig Maddock along with Nate Kading. And Nate, semifinal night, the most anticipated night of basketball because you're just one win away and getting to the championship game.
And we're going to be treated here tonight to four of the best that Class A has to offer. Our first one, Chargers on Chargers, Sioux Falls Christian, the 1 seed, taking on Hamlin Chargers, the 4 seed, and then following that, we got the Clark Willow Lake boys versus the West Central Trojans.
Undefeated Trojans trying to get to the state tournament for the first time in 25 years. Earlier today, we had a barn burner in our first game today. Nate, how about a little double overtime action?
In Groton area, hit a big 3 to send it into overtime. Another one to send it into a double overtime, but ran out of gas. Got to give credit to St. Thomas More, made just enough plays down the stretch.
Cheyenne Eagle Butte saw themselves down 10 at one point, come back, and they had a really good second half and get by Stanley County. Here's what's coming up tonight. It's a rematch of the last 2 years in the championship round. The Chargers won the championship last year. Hamlin won it 2 years ago. And then it's West Central Clark Willow Lake. They did play each other earlier in the season.
Had a tremendous battle earlier on. 3-point game that West Central was able to come out on top. Lower scoring, 55-52. 1 possession game, as we expect both these to maybe be here tonight.
Let's look at the teams here in our first semifinal matchup. First, the Hamlin Chargers making their 14th appearance, their 4th straight to the Class A tournament. They won the title just 2 years ago. They were the runner-ups 1 year ago. The First Dakota National Bank starting lineups.
And Hamlin last night had their big guns going. You can see number 1, Bowden Stevenson. Number 23, Jackson Wadsworth, at 20 and 27 respectively. Joining them in the starting lineup here tonight, Aiden Abraham, Trig Heinrich, and junior Jack Stormo. And this group is led by longtime veteran South Dakota head coach Todd Neuendorf. That's no stranger to big games.
And they will take on the defending champs, the number 1 seed, Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. It's the 15th appearance for the Chargers at the State A tournament, the 11th year in a row they've been here. They won it last year, and then the prior 2 years they were runner-ups. One was Hamlin, the other one Dakota Valley. Here's your First Dakota Bank starting lineups.
And this Chargers team is led by number 35, Brant Wassenaar. That averages just shy of 23 a game, had 26 big ones last night. Joining Brant in the starting lineup, senior Cooper Goodberry, sophomore Cooper Strandy, the big fella inside, 6'9", Ryan Dielman, and another senior, number 24, Carson Nichols. And you get a look at the veteran Mike Scouten, head coach of the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers.
Follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Check out all of the award and action photos. Just search SDPB on Flickr. Semifinal night, our first game. Let's meet the teams. Here's Scotty Jensen.
Good evening, Summit Arena fans here at the Monument in Rapid City and everyone watching all over the world on SDPB. It's time for semifinal Friday night of the 2026 South Dakota State A-Boys Basketball Championships. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard are proud to welcome you to this semifinal session of the State A-Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Playing in our first semifinal tonight, the Hamlin Chargers versus the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you'll enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsman-like manner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please stand as we honor America? The national anthem tonight will be performed by the Rapid City Christian Pep Band under the direction of Matt Poto and Kylie Hammett. We would remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may also salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you, Pep Band. Ladies and gentlemen, this year in partnership with the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the participating schools of the Boys State A Tournament, and the officials of the tournament, we are proud to introduce the Junior Official Program. We appreciate the willingness of our officials to take part in this initiative and mentor younger individuals who have an interest in officiating. This program provides a great opportunity for youth to gain exposure to the officiating profession while learning from experienced officials in a state tournament environment. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to welcome our junior official for this game, Quincy Thompson from Sioux Falls Christian. Let's meet your referees for our first semifinal game. The referee is Chris Long. The umpires are Darren Vandenberg and Jordan Gal. How about a hand for our officials? And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our head coaches for each team. The visitor coach tonight from the Hamlin Chargers is Mr. Todd Neuendorf. The home team head coach from the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, Mr. Mike Scouten. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Channel Seed alternating starting lineups. First for Hamlin, starting at forward, a 6'5" junior, number 1, Bowden Stevenson. For Sioux Falls Christian, starting at forward, a 6'4" senior, number 0, Cooper Goodberry. For Hamlin, at forward, a 6'3" junior, number 10, Jack Stormo. For Sioux Falls Christian, at guard, a 6'1" sophomore, number 2, Cooper Strandy. For Hamlin, starting at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 20, Aiden Abraham. For Sioux Falls Christian, starting at center, a 6'9" sophomore, number 10, Ryan Thielman. For Hamlin, at guard, a 6'3" senior, number 23, Jackson Wadsworth. For Sioux Falls Christian, starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 24, Carson Nichols. And for Hamlin, a freshman forward at 6'5", number 30, Trig Heinrich. And for Sioux Falls Christian, at guard, a 6'4", junior, number 35, Brent Wassenaar.
Time for Nate's notes. Nate, what's important for the Hamlin Chargers tonight?
The first thing, they need to be able to guard their yard, one-on-one defense when trying to control the basketball. They don't want to overhelp, allow threes for Sioux Falls Christian, and then controlling the pace of this game. They know that Christian is at their best when it's an up and down style. On the other side of things, Sioux Falls Christian, as I was saying, is at their best when they can create their offense with their defense, get turnovers, get out in transition, and then run. And they want to dominate the glass. They got size and a physicality advantage over this Hamlin squad, and they need to have that impact to tonight's game.
Ryan Thielman will jump for the Chargers. It's Bowden Stevenson for Hamlin. And our referee tonight, Chris Long, will jump it up. One of these teams will make it to the finals for the 3rd year in a row. They've been in the finals the last 2 years, both of them getting a championship in that time.
You can see Bowden Stevenson getting the task of trying to check Brent Wassenaar.
That's Thielman with it. Big key with Hamlin is they're not going to go very deep, are they? You know, 5, maybe 6.
Got to stay out of foul trouble, yeah, and as we were saying, try to control the tempo of this game.
Wadsworth. He's being guarded by Cooper Goodberry. But Stevenson, another dangerous weapon for Hamlin. Cooper Goodberry here on the outlet. Takes it himself and will go to the line.
Those transition opportunities, you see they have multiple guys that can bust it out as they go. You saw Goodberry right there. Pretty much anybody beyond Ryan Thielman is going to snatch rebounds and go for this Christian starting lineup.
Goodberry was not at the line much in yesterday's win. 1 for 2 from the line. 70% shooter.
You could see Stevenson there doing whatever he could to keep Thielman off the glass. And this is where Hamlin, they're going to get in a lot of half-court sets, executing sharply.
These two teams did not meet each other during the regular season, but they have met each other in the finals the last 2 years. Nice run, and the basket by Cooper Strandy.
And that's where he's at his best, downhill guard. They set that high drag ball screen for him, and that showman just a little too flat.
Wadsworth going up against Goodberry. Boy, Thielman may have gotten a piece of that as well underneath the basket. This is Thielman. Hamlin cannot miss shots.
Yeah, Stormo, that was a quality look there off that loose basketball. And those are the ones, if they're going to stay in this and hang around.
Nichols, his first basket.
And you just see the effectiveness of them driving the basketball. That's what we talked about at the onset of they got to sit down, keep the ball in front.
Wadsworth. They need that for Hamlin. Jackson getting the tray. He is #1 on the team.
That was a big one for them to just settle in right here. Not a great start early on, but gets them on the board.
Rebound by the freshman, Trig Heinrich. He was a ball boy a year ago for Hamlin and got into the starting position halfway through this year.
And you can see, rather than pushing the pace in transition, they want to slow this down. Long possessions in the half court.
Timeout.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
There's Mike Scouten, the head coach, Sioux Falls Christian. Next year, Mike will pick up his 500th win. He is 6 wins short from the 500 win mark. It's his 20th year at Sioux Falls Christian. For Hamlin, the kick. Nickel, check that.
Abraham there with the big three. Nice driving kick action from Wadsworth.
Quickly comes Brant Wassenaar.
And you can see that Hamlin is going to try to guard that one-on-one. They're not going to overhelp and kick out threes. They want just those contested finishes right at zone 1, and there Wassenaar converted.
Well, Hamlin was almost 50% from the three-point arc. They're going to have to do that, at least that maybe tonight. Be successful down out on the wing, and Abraham with another basket.
Wasn't the prettiest of possessions right there, as they were a little out of sorts spacing-wise.
First lead for Hamlin. Wassenaar, made that look easy.
You can just see his ability to split that thing. Nifty ball handling.
Trying to do a little inside-outside game here for Hamlin. There is some length on the low block with Sioux Falls Christian, and that's going to go against the they're both the Chargers against Sioux Falls Christian. And the foul is on Thielman.
It'll be interesting to see here as Sioux Falls Christian finally goes into their bench with Prince checking in. Hamlin, we've talked about it, not an overly deep team. Essentially rode their 5 starters yesterday's game.
Stevenson. And it is Wassenaar. Six points for Brant and an exclamation point.
You can see those long rebounds, and no one staying in front of him in the open court like that. And this is where Hamlin, Sioux Falls Christian, 4 of their last 5, they want to try to limit these runs as best they can.
And Cooper Goodbury is going wherever Wadsworth is. And Cooper Strandy is following Bowden Stevenson where he goes.
Wadsworth there, nice attack, kind of lost his footing.
That'll stay with Hamlin.
You can see a bunch of the Hamlin guys just bent over on their knees. And
last 3 years, Hamlin's been in the finals. They are 63-9 in their last 3 years. That will go to Hamlin. And then Sioux Falls Christian, the last 3 years, they're 70-3. They've been in the finals the past 3 years. They've been in there 5 times in the last 7 years. Wadsworth with the step back.
You can see they switched that early high dribble handoff.
The kick to Stevenson and the layup by Stormo.
And they probably aren't going to have a ton of those transition opportunities as they try to control this pace, but a situation like that, turnover, advantage break.
And it's going to be a travel. Jump ball.
And look, Stevenson was going up, and hand wasn't on it for real long, was on it for a little while.
Heinrich. What a great matchup this is. Goodbury and Wadsworth. Here's another one here. Stevenson and Strandy.
And that's a matchup right there, that Bowden Stevenson, who had a huge night. As you can see how dangerous they are at transition. But Stevenson had 27 last night, 9 of 14. Has started 0 for 4 in tonight's game.
Stormo. Here's the freshman, Heinrich.
They're really providing a lot of attention on Jackson Wadsworth.
There's some heavy breathing going on. A lot of these players have been working pretty hard in this first quarter. Rebound by Prinz.
That was pretty good one-on-one defense there by Bowden Stevenson, and that's what you got to do. Slide, stay in front, wall up without fouling. You can see game and shot clock pretty much evened up here.
Stevenson, Stormo. Wadsworth gets picked. Prinz. Sioux Falls Christian, the top seed. Hamlin is the 4 seed.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
There's Todd Neuendorf, head coach of the Hamlin Chargers. He said they had to change everything from last year with their team. They lost some pretty good seniors. Of course, Easton Neuendorf, his son, who's also on the coaching staff, he was the leader, the point guard. They had to move Wadsworth to that point. Wadsworth was used to being maybe out in the wings waiting for a pass. Now they'll use him a lot as the point guard, and they're still trying to get him opportunities from the wing.
And you can see Wassenaar just getting downhill, and they had switched Stormo on him after the break. Give Stevenson a little bit of a break.
Wadsworth will go to the line.
And Wassenaar already up to a quick 10, 5 of 8 from the floor.
First team foul in the quarter. Jackson Wadsworth on the line.
Cooper Goodbury with the foul. Jackson struggled a little bit. I mean, he's an 84% free throw shooter. He went 8 of 13 yesterday.
I'm not a math major, Craig, but I think that's under the season average right there.
You are correct.
You can see how Sioux Falls Christian, they just love to spread, and now with this matchup, trying to post up Wassenaar.
Back door. The block by Heinrich. Wadsworth. Stevenson.
And they really need to find a way to get Stevenson going a little bit offensively. You see Sioux Falls Christian, any like actions, they're gonna just switch them out.
10 to shoot. Stevenson against Wassenaar.
Just a good defensive possession right there for Sioux Falls Christian.
Goodbury, oh, ouch. Goodbury gets up. Foul on Hamlin. It will be on Abraham. For Abraham, his first. In for Sioux Falls Christian is Canyon Prinz. And a timeout on the court.
And I think more so than anything right now, it's just simply to give his guys a breather. Him and his Coach Neuendorf and the staff were talking right in front of us, and you got to use these timeouts, you know, in a way not only to control momentum, but when you're going to be rolling with your 5 starters to try to keep them as fresh as possible.
Told you Todd Neuendorf said they had to change everything on their offense from last year. Sioux Falls Christian, you know, they had the Gatorade Player of the Year last year. They had a bunch of seniors. They had 4 seniors, and this year they've had to rely on some of the younger guys. They still have some good seniors and still maybe a candidate for Player of the Year. Cooper Goodbury, by the way, you know, he's been out 5 weeks with a broken bone in his elbow. Was out 5 weeks. He's been back 3 weeks. Just getting into shape now, right?
You can see they just spread and just provide space. That's the second ball screen split.
Count the basket, and the foul on Wadsworth. That is his first.
And that's where you talk about that hedge guy, regardless of whether it's a flat show or a hard show. You want to be foot to foot.
Dielman took it away, gives it to Wassenaar. He's got 14 points in just over a quarter.
They were trying to look at that slip. They ran that action a couple times last night. High stagger.
That's Stormo.
I think Abraham with that one, I believe.
Abraham.
Yeah. Another big one, his second one of the game. You can see Hamlin switching back. Little 2-1-2 zone.
Nichols. Carson is going to go to the line.
And that's going to be Bowden Stevenson's second foul.
You don't want Stevenson to get into foul trouble. Stevenson and Wadsworth, that 1-2 punch.
But Sioux Falls Christian right now has only attempted 1 3-point field goal. Everything's just been at the rim, zone 1. 18 points in the paint here, not even halfway through the second quarter.
3 points for Nichols. Nice rebound by by Stevenson. And he gets the putback, and Bowden gets his first basket.
And he was in the land of the trees right there. Shot fake pivot.
At the break, Wassenaar. We've seen him come down the lane a lot in this game. He's got 14 of the 20 points for Christian.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
The Hamlin Charger crowd. Looks like the construction theme, get to work.
Looks like they've adopted a couple people there. I saw Wagner's Ashley Copel in the student section.
The steal by Wadsworth. Oh, Stevenson.
It's a good aggressive take right there by Bowden Stevenson. He's had a few right around the rim.
Wassenaar. Wow. Just basic pull-up jumper on the baseline.
And he just shows his versatility right there. 3-level scorer from 3 mid-range. Special at the rim.
Dealman with a rebound. This is Nichols. Strandy has not left Stevenson's side. So far, it's working well for the Chargers.
Yeah, he's really making them work as Wassenaar.
Blocking foul on Hamlin. It'll go on Abraham.
That's going to be Hamlin's, just their 4th team foul, so it'll be underneath. The Hamlin staff thought he was set and wanted to. Wassenaar was maybe a little out of control on that one, but not sure if the guy was set in legal guarding position.
Wadsworth with the rebound. Yeah, that last call got the Hamlin crowd active. Wadsworth. And it's going to stay with Hamlin. So yeah, 3 of 8, 3 of 9 now from the arc.
Yeah, and another one that was teed up well beyond the NBA line right there, Craig.
The foul will go against Prinz.
And Wadsner's got a good knack. He's not the quickest guy in the world, but he uses his shooting, deceptiveness, good with that first step.
Hamlin got to the free throw line, had 24 attempts last night. This is only the 4th of the game. 5 points for Wadsworth.
You can see Hamlin staying with this zone, tried to screen the top of it.
Goodbury had it blocked by Stevenson. 3rd time for Goodbury, blocked again by Stevenson. Stevenson. What a defensive stop for Hamlin.
And they're giving up a little size in there. Goodbury right now 0 of 4 from the floor. He has knocked down 1 free throw.
Wadsworth against Goodbury. Oh, and he tripped. Blocking foul. Called on Sioux Falls Christian. That lit up the crowd a little bit too. And that is on Goodbury. His 2nd. It's getting a little cantankerous in the arena. And they want Wadsworth to come out and be looked at by a trainer. Yep, they're gonna. Oh, there's blood on the knee there.
Got a little blood on the leg.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have that wrap. He's got a cut right below the knee.
Coach Neuendorf, jack of all trades out there.
He was out wiping it off.
Not only the
That's what we did in the old days. We just wiped it off.
The head coach, the bus driver. He does it all.
You have some dirt next to the scores table. You throw some dirt on it, and you're all set.
Yeah, they definitely wanted Jackson Wadsworth at the line and not having to make a sub that hasn't appeared in the game.
Yeah, there was. Seven points for Wadsworth.
And Hamlin just kind of hanging around right now. Defensively, this zone it's kind of slowed Sioux Falls Christian down a little bit, gave him a different look.
That's Hofer. Mitchell had 3 of those last night.
And he shoots it at a high clip from 3, almost 35%.
Stevenson against Randy. And it's a travel. Little jump by a Heinrich.
Yeah, kind of an exaggerated hop there on the catch, and those
they gotta wrap Wadsworth. Not quite covering. Actually, it's slipped off a little bit, so they need a bigger wrap for the knee. And they don't want to take him out, so they're giving him a little blood time here.
Yeah, and Coach Neuendorf right there is talking, because in the nature of the game, you actually could make that call. My guess is no less than 20 to 25 times, where our feet are in the air, or excuse me, on the ground when they catch, and then they get their feet in the air after they've already established it. But that one was so exaggerated and slow that it was hard not to call.
Wassenaar being guarded by Wadsworth. Prinz with the putback, stuck with it.
That offensive glass, as we talked about. Christian up to 6 offensive rebounds.
Prinz had 14 points last night. As Hofer and Prinz both came off the bench last night, scored in double figures. Well, there's been a lot of traffic going on. Bodies on the floor, and Cooper Strandy getting up slow. And it is on Strandy. It's his second foul. In for Sioux Falls Christian is Carson Nichols. Strandy shaken up. And Wadsworth still is not getting his blood totally wrapped up here. So for a third time, they got to come over, and I can see that the wound or the cut still is not covered, and they're going to need something bigger to cover that cut for Wadsworth. And there's Strandy trying to walk things off. And we have a 30-second timeout called. We got guys shaking up. We got blood. We got people trying to fix cuts. The cut is just right below the knee. So when he's bending, the knee, that wrap and the tape is sliding down off the knee. Didn't know I'd be doing play-by-play of wraps on knees here, but that's what's happening to Wadsworth. There's a nice big wrap there. See if that stays. It's got to be a little bit uncomfortable because they had to wrap it pretty tight so it wouldn't slide. Tried to go to Stevenson. Hamlin's 4th turnover of the game. Oh, Wassenaar, what a quick hit to Prinz. Prinz kind of hiding back door. Sioux Falls Christian crowd standing up. Last seconds of the first half. Stevenson with the kick. Wadsworth, big three by Jackson at the buzzer. Hamlin really needed that shot at the end. Hamlin scores 12 points in that second quarter. Sioux Falls Christian scored 16, and the head coach Mike Scouten is with Nate Kading.
Coach, they switched to that zone about halfway through that first half. Seemed to maybe slow you guys down a little bit, but then you got it going. What were your thoughts on your zone attack?
Well, we held the ball a little too much, I thought. We didn't move it quickly. We were a little hesitant to take the shot. So, you know, we guys kind of settled in a little bit towards the end there. We got some easy baskets. But, yeah, we needed to do a little better job with our zone offense.
Well, you guys talk about it at half. Thanks for the time, Coach.
Yeah, no bet. You bet. No problem. Thank you.
All right, Mike Scouten in his 20th year at Sioux Falls Christian. Some awards to be presented when we come back.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
It's halftime here in Rapid City. It's semifinal night, and Sioux Falls Christian with the lead on Hamlin. We have some awards that we are going to give out, and that is just about ready here. We will keep it right here until they are ready. Our second semifinal game coming up, West Central and Clark Willow Lake. Nate, the top 4 seeds in this class making it here to semifinal night.
Yeah, and I don't think that really probably surprised much of anybody as they paid attention to this Class A field, and certainly when you have Sioux Falls Christian and West Central kind of step above the rest, but then Clark Willow Lake and Hamlin both had tremendous seasons, and you see on this stage why they've gotten to this point.
They are ready, so some awards to hand out. Let's turn it over to Scotty Jensen.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention, please? Tonight, the South Dakota Sports Officials Advisory Council is proud to present its 25 and 40-year officiating awards. These awards are presented to recognize officials who have dedicated 25 and 40 years to the officiating profession. Without them, the games could not be played. The South Dakota High School Activities Association and its member schools say thank you to all the sports officials across the state of South Dakota, especially those who have been so dedicated for these past years. Presenting tonight's awards is Randy Soma, Assistant Executive Director of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Tonight, your 25-year official is Justo Tobar. Justo Tobar, a South Dakota native, played basketball, football, and track before turning to coaching and officiating. He began refereeing in 1994 and became certified in 2001, earning assignments at multiple state, and Lakota Nation Invitational tournaments. Known for fairness, integrity, and leadership, Tobar credits his children for their support and is celebrated for his lifelong dedication to South Dakota basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Justo Tobar. Ladies and gentlemen, our 40-year official this evening, tonight, is Mr. David Burnett. David Burnett of Phillip began officiating high school football and basketball in 1987 and has since worked games from youth to college levels with a special passion for high school basketball. He has officiated 10 state championship games, numerous South Dakota state tournaments, and over 25 years at the Lakota Nation Invitational, earning the 2025 Golden Whistle Award. A mentor to many officials, David is recognized for his dedication, enthusiasm, and commitment to the game. He and his wife Mary live in Phillip with their grandchildren and their children as well. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Dave Burnett. Justo and Dave's full bio can be found in full in the state basketball program. Congratulations, Dave Burnett and Justo Tobar.
We've got highlights and stats of our first half, our semifinals here in Rapid City.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
The top seed, Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. They got out to a 5-0 lead. Hamlin came back, though, took a 1-point lead at 8-7. But since then, Sioux Falls Christian's been able to hold the lead. Their biggest lead has been 10.
And it's been the Brant Wassenaar show. 16 points, 8 of 12 from the floor. Now, Sioux Falls Christian, they've only attempted 4 threes because they've just lived at the rim and in the paint. 22 points in the paint. For Hamlin, they'll have to find a way for Bowden Stevenson to get going here in the second half. It was only 1 of 8, 2 points, but they were led by Jackson Wadsworth with 10, hit a big 3 going into half to cut this to a 7-point game. Aiden Abraham alongside him with 8 points. You can see the impact on the glass. Sioux Falls Christian winning that battle right now, 19-4. Had 6 offensive rebounds.
Hamlin will have the ball to start the third quarter. And here's Wadsworth with a fresh wrap on that cut right knee. Stevenson taking the drive right away. Getting challenged by Dielman, on the low block.
Yeah, that rim protection that he's able to come when he's been in the game right now, whether they've thrown it inside or whether they've driven the ball, he's made an impact around there.
The charge, Hamlin has not made a change in their lineup at all. They've gone with just that starting 5, and if they don't have to, they're not going to make any changes. Oh, the quick step back. Wassenaar, he had guys all around him. Oh, nice move. Oh, Bowden goes down hard, gets back up, but the length there helped him with that.
And that the other end, what created that sequence, being able to pinch on that spin move of Brant Wassenaar, created that turnover and got Stevenson out in transition.
Stevenson and Wadsworth, the only 2 Hamlin players to get to the free throw line tonight.
And if you're Hamlin, you just want to try to shorten this game up, stay within striking distance, give yourself a chance down the stretch.
Yep, this is what Hamlin wants. And a rebound by Stevenson. Wadsworth. Dielman is 6'9". He's a sophomore, and he's got 5 rebounds. Oh, the freshman Heinrich with the block. Stormo, rebound by Heinrich, kept the ball alive.
And Heinrich, yes, been a factor.
Stormo for 3.
Heinrich on the glass, blocking a shot, freshman.
10-point lead for Sioux Falls Christian, down to 1.
Sioux Falls Christian has yet to score here in this third quarter.
Well, if you're Sioux Falls Christian, you just put it in the hands of Wassenaar and see what happens.
It's always a good plan right there as a drive, and
he's got 18.
Scoop finish.
Dielman with his 6th rebound.
You can see Hamlin getting some free runs to the offensive glass.
Timeout taken by Sioux Falls Christian. Sioux Falls Christian, like you mentioned, they've scored 2 points. Hamlin, they have scored 6 points here in this third quarter. SDPB's coverage of high school sports and activities is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you. A contribution today helps support the broadcast of events like the Boys Basketball Championships, Make a donation today by visiting sdpb.org/donate. And thank you for your support.
And I'm sure Coach Scout maybe didn't like the urgency level of his group coming out of halftime. And switching to this zone defense, this early attack from Sioux Falls Christian, just not getting a ton of ball movement, player movement, finding open spots in the zone that they can really create advantages. And they've tried running to different overload situations. Dielman's the one working block area to high post, but Hamlin just tries to match bodies as best they can.
Wassenaar will go to the free throw line when we come back. Pace of the game has slowed a little bit here in this third quarter.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
One possession ball game. Semifinals. These two teams have had some really good games the last couple of years. Both times were in the finals. Wassenaar with the free throw, his second trip to the free throw line tonight. It was 2 years ago right here in Rapid City that it was Hamlin with the championship over Sioux Falls Christian, 53-50. And then a year ago, it was Sioux Falls Christian with the win by 10.
You can see Dielman immediately come over and help.
Wassenaar just takes it away from Heinrich. And blocked by Stormo. In for Sioux Falls Christian, Mitchell Hofer and Canyon Prinz. Both those guys, Nate, scored double digits last night in their win.
Yeah, provided them some great minutes. Today, Prinz with 4 and Hofer with the one shot attempt, knocking down the 1-3. There you see Prinz. Yeah, that's where he does his best work inside.
Stevenson has it taken away by Strandy. Strandy was out for a while, shaken up. Going around. And that's going to go with Sioux Falls Christian.
And you can see Prinz again battling on the old glass. A dirty work guy. And those turnovers for Hamlin, they can't afford those. They only have 6 on the game, but
Wassenaar.
Brent Wassenaar.
21. He averages 22.
Hamlin on over a 2.5-minute scoring drought.
Jack Stormo hits his second 3. Huge for Hamlin.
And Hamlin, 6 of 16 from 3. Sioux Falls Christian, only 1 of 5. Haven't really needed it.
Mike Scouten says for the Chargers as Goodbury with the 3 attempt. Scouten says when they play best, when Sioux Falls Christian is playing best, they're running, they're playing fast, they're getting defensive rebounds. They score a lot in transition.
That sounds like a good plan for success right there when you got the versatility and the athletes and Brant Wassenaar on your team.
Wadsworth against Goodbury. Quick release by Stevenson. And Goodbury picks up his 6th rebound.
Yeah, and Stevenson, after really having it cooking yesterday, 2 of 11 from the floor. And then on the other side, Cooper Goodbury, kind of their Batman, or excuse me, their Robin.
Hofer with the push and the foul.
Yeah, and Goodbury 0 of 7 from the floor. So those secondary scores that both teams are used to having haven't really shown up too much here so far today, at least offensively.
Sioux Falls Christian has had a lead of 10. Stevenson. And for Bowdoin, his 3rd basket.
And this is where when Brant Wassenaar is on the bench, you got to be able to trim this lead down.
Prinz, offensive board and the putback by Kenyon. He's got 8 points. Oh boy, Bowdoin Stevenson has picked up his 4th foul. Yes. So the first reserve to come into the game for Hamlin, and that is Owen Tashner.
And Tashner's making his first appearance in the entire tournament right here. During a critical moment, and Sioux Falls Christian only 1 of 9 from 3, but you see Kenyon Prinz right there and what he's provided. I mentioned dirty work guy, puts on his hard hat. Nothing's fancy, but offensive glass, drop-offs.
Tashner is a freshman. In fact, Hamlin has 2 freshmen on the floor right now. But when you got Wadsworth, that makes up for a lot of it, doesn't it?
And the key for Hamlin, especially if Sioux Falls Christian is going to continue to shoot it the way they have, or the way they are, is to rebound out of it.
Strandy on the inbound. Ten to shoot. Mitchell Hofer. Rebound is by Wadsworth. Wadsworth with 6 rebounds. Underneath to Heinrich. Hamlin within 2.
There's a nice find right there by Jackson Wadsworth. You were wondering if they were going to hold for 1, but they had the advantage.
Here's Goodbury. The long 3. The senior comes in with his first basket of the game. And Sioux Falls Christian, the defending champs, with a 5-point lead going into the 4th.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Nate, it was just a year ago. Griffin Goodbury there with the dunk. This was the championship game last year between Sioux Falls Christian and Hamlin. 4 seniors helping Christian with the lead. The year before, Hamlin beat Christian for the title.
In their, I believe, their only loss of that season, went unbeaten until that championship game, and they avenged it last year.
Now, one of these teams will make it to the finals for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, and Hamlin with Grant Wassner on the bench. They actually cut this to a 2-point game, but Cooper Goodberry, that big 3 to finish things off.
Wadsworth with the feed. Oh, right underneath. Heinrich kind of hiding underneath.
Yeah, and Dielman with that uphill help at the basketball. And you talk about as shot blockers, you don't want to help uphill. You want to meet right at the rim.
Stevenson is on the floor. He's got 4 fouls. And that will be going on Aiden Abraham, his 3rd.
Number 2, Jonathan Leonardi. His first, team 1.
Hamlin sticking on that zone there. Nate.
Yeah, and they really try to stretch it out and find the bodies that they need to.
And I tell you what, that hurt Wassner. That one hurt coming down.
He's taking a couple hard fouls.
He's still down. I don't know if that fell more on the hip coming down, but
in Sioux Falls Christian there, we haven't seen them ball screen the zone too often, but that situation, Dielman went and screened that top wing and then created some space for Wassner to get downhill.
Abraham, that's his 4th foul. So now 2 starters for Hamlin with 4 fouls. And Hamlin can't go very deep on the bench. .22 for Wassner.
See Sioux Falls Christian now going a little 1-3-1 look. We haven't seen that out of them here tonight.
Stevenson airballed it. Saved by Heinrich. Wadsworth loses it. And the jump ball, and it will stay with Hamlin.
There's only 8 seconds on the shot clock here, so they got to go quick.
Oh, they got it off. Well, they airballed it, so shot clock violation. But on the other end, Hamlin slowing down the Sioux Falls Christian offense a bit.
Yeah, the zone, I mean, the zone's been decent for him. Sioux Falls Christian only 18 of 44, 41% from the floor, 2 of 11 from 3. With the success that they were having going at the basket.
Oh, Wassenaar. It's something else watching him attack the rack.
Yeah, and you can see a couple times where Trig Heinrich has made a play on that basketball from behind.
Ten to shoot. And Wassenaar lost it, turns it over. Sioux Falls Christian now with 8 turnovers. Canyon Prinz in for the Chargers, and Mitchell Hofer coming in.
And Prinz is really, he's just provided an offensive punch for them. Their second leading scorer with 9 behind Wassenaar's 22.
Wadsworth to the wing, and Heinrich. Heinrich hasn't taken that many shots, has he, in this game? Had the open shot.
And Hamlin had some bodies around that, but Prinz found a way to come up with it.
To shoot. Underneath is Prinz. He's everywhere.
Again. Right place, right time right there from Canyon Prinz.
Fifth basket by Prinz. All in the paint.
This is where they really need Wadsworth Stevenson.
Wadsworth has a look at it, short.
And you just wonder, you get to this point that these guys have virtually played the entire game. You saw a little short on that jumper. And Sioux Falls Christian really shortening up this.
Prinz. Wow. Big offensive board in the putback.
It's been the Canyon Prinz show.
Prinz behind the back to Wassenaar. Sioux Falls Christian crowd really feeling it right now, and they're going to call timeout. Wadsworth is going to get across. Timeout, Hamlin.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
The story of Leopold and Loeb is the story of the original crime of the century.
These 2 privileged boys killed another boy from within their community, and we have no reasonable explanation for it.
They're going to create the perfect crime. It's fun for them.
Deadly Alliance, Leopold and Loeb, on American Stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Sioux Falls Christian crowd getting excited. Quite the run they've had in the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, and it's really been Canyon Prince and the impact that he's made. Offensive glass, coming up with the loose ball defensively, leading the break and dropping off that behind the back pass, which almost hit his foot and bounced out of bounds, but controlled by Wassner to lay it up and stretch this to a 10-point game.
Yeah, it does tie the largest lead of the game too, Nate.
Big possession here for Hamlin, who needs to find a way to create some type of offense. Scoring drought of beyond 4 minutes.
Wadsworth tipped away by Hofer.
And Hamlin having to go back man-to-man here.
Were you surprised what Wassner was going to do? He set that up, spread out the defense, and down the middle he went.
His 26th point of the game.
Pringe with the steal. Pringe will go to the line after the break. Sioux Falls Christian right now with their largest lead of the game.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Sioux Falls Christian Chargers looking to take home another state title. Caught up with senior Cooper Goodbury on his thoughts leading into this tournament.
It's been good. It's been fun. We've had a really good season. It's been a lot of fun playing my senior year with my best friends, and we've had a lot of good competition, but I think that's got us ready for this. I'd say our mentality is just to go out, play hard, and have fun, and glorify God. I feel like if we just go out there and we play our hardest, we have very good odds of coming out here with a championship, hopefully. But yeah, just playing hard and play for each other. Honestly, we're just a bunch of best friends playing basketball together. We all like to keep our faith at the center of it all, and I think that just like builds us and gets us ready for all the games, knowing we're playing for a bigger purpose, we're playing for the Lord, and that just gives us the strength. It's very special to make it the last 4 years, and we want to keep the streak going, and we want to get a tournament win, definitely.
Sioux Falls Christian trying to make it to the state tournament for the 4th year in a row. They were runner-ups in 23 and 24 and won the title last year, so this would be the 4th year in a row for Sioux Falls Christian if they can win this game. That is Abraham, and for Aiden, that's his 3rd at 3 of the game.
7 of 22 overall. Those threes have been big for them to even hang around. Still a 10-point ball game.
And that's kicked. Again, Sioux Falls Christian trying to make it to their 4th straight title game. This is Strandy and Goodbury. Shot clock violation. Chargers have to have some quick offense, and that is Wadsworth with the 3 and a timeout by Hamlin.
And that's what you needed right there. 2 quick threes. Be able to get this game back. 7-point game now. Minute 11 left.
Defense wins championships. We spoke with senior Jackson Wadsworth of Hamlin on the new generation of Hamlin Chargers.
Defense is the biggest thing to shut them down on defense. We got to get easy baskets first. Obviously, don't rely on the three-point line. That nobody shoots good at the state tournament. It's got to come in easy baskets, and defense wins championships. So I was kind of more of a role player last year. Now I'm kind of the leader of the group, I guess, and kind of stepping into a bigger role. Don't have those other older guys to count on. I kind of have to be the guy they go to at the end of the game and stuff like that. But just bringing the younger kids up and having them ready for the big moments. Team strategy, I guess, is take it game by game. You can't get to the night session if you don't win the first game. You can't get the championship if you don't win that game. Just focus on the team in front of you. Don't take anything for granted, and just play your heart out.
Jackson with 15 points on the night.
He's been their leader, leads them all the way around. You look at him vocally out there, making sure guys are organized in the right spots. Got to be their main offensive weapon. Having a heck of a year, averaging about 21 points a game, doing everything that they need him to.
And here comes the fouls now. That is the first team foul on Sioux Falls Christian. I'm sorry, the 4th team foul on Hamlin. So next foul by Hamlin puts the Chargers in the bonus.
And they're allowing Dealman to...
Oh, a timeout taken by Sioux Falls Christian.
Yeah, they were trying to face guard Wassenaar, face guard Cooper Goodberry, and they were allowing Dealman to get a touch right there. But they take a quick timeout beforehand. And you got to really look to try to extend this ball game. Turnover, maybe a trap if they like the guy who has the basketball. Quick foul and play the free throw game.
Brant Wassenaar scored his 1,000th point against Dakota Valley here just not too long ago. Cooper Strandy, he's the quarterback for the state championship football team. And Cooper Goodberry is going to go to Northern. Carson Nichols is going to go to Morningside for basketball. Canyon Prinz is going to play football at Dort. And the foul, and everybody will walk to the other end.
And they were welcoming Dealman to catch that basketball. And on the season, Dealman's actually a 15-19 coming into the tournament, 78% from the line. Did not shoot one all day yesterday, has not shot one. So this would be his first free throw attempt of the tournament.
In for Hamlin is Stevenson and Abraham, both with 4 fouls.
And as we saw in our first game today, Craig, being able to rebound off free throws, small but important thing, and there he knocks down the second.
He will come out as Prinz coming in.
You can see Sioux Falls Christian stretching their defense. They just want to be able to take a little bit more time off this clock.
The basket by Heinrich, his 6th. And Cooper Goodberry will go to the line. Yep, for Hamlin, it's make a basket and foul, or steal the ball if you can. Otherwise, for Sioux Falls Christian, now is the time for you to win the game by going to the free throw lane.
Yeah, and Goodberry 1 of 2 from the line here this evening. It's big to stretch this thing beyond a 2-possession game. You always feel a little bit more comfortable.
Six points for Goodberry. Again, it is Hamlin who needs to make quick baskets. And play on, and it's going to go to Sioux Falls Christian. Sioux Falls Christian will bring in Dielman. Hamlin brings Tashner and Olson in.
Really trying to protect their foul situations right now.
Goodberry fouled by Olson, and then just like that, Stevenson and Abraham off the bench for Hamlin. And Prinz off the bench for for Sioux Falls Christian.
Yeah, a lot of subs going, a lot of game planning going on, back and forth. Who you want in there to shoot free throws, who you want in there to foul, who you want in for your offensive possessions. And Goodberry stepped up comfortably here and hit some important ones down the stretch after having kind of an atypical game for him from the floor, only 1 of 10.
Oh, the rebound by Prinz, but they say a push on Prinz. Canyon with his second foul. First team foul for Sioux Falls Christian in this period. And that's going to be a hold on Strandy before the ball got inbounded, and for Cooper, his third.
And that's only their second team foul, so they got 2 more fouls to give.
Stevenson over to Stormo, and Stormo fouled by Strandy, and Cooper's 4th foul.
And doing just that, trying to take some precious time off the clock, and they still got 1 more in the right situation. You just don't want to do it in the act of shooting, so they're scoring with no time coming off.
And Hamlin's got to score quickly. Wassenaar will pick up. Is that his first? That is his second foul. Brant Wassenaar. And now Hamlin will be in the bonus next time there's a foul.
Yeah, and they've done a nice job of eating some clock here, not allowing Hamlin a scoring opportunity.
And Wadsworth will pick up the foul. And that's his second.
Brant Wassenaar at the line, 2 shots.
Wassenaar with a chance to really put a dent into Hamlin's quest to get to the championship game.
In a valiant effort from this Hamlin crew. We've talked about they basically ride their 5 starters entire games, and they were right there coming into this 4th quarter.
And it's stolen by Hofer. And they're going to let the clock run out. Sioux Falls Christian is going to win the game, and for the 4th year in a row, they're going to go to the championship game.
Sioux Falls Christian on their way to the
58-47, year final.
6:45.
Sioux Falls Christian being led by Wassenaar with 28. Cooper Goodberry had 7. Canyon Prinz off the bench with 13. Hamlin, they were led by Wadsworth with 15, Abraham with 11. Nobody else in the double figures. As you see, Sioux Falls Christian, they'll go ahead and put their name on the board in the championship bracket for the 4th year in a row. And Mike Scouten is with Nate Kading.
Coach, back and forth affair. They hung around. Canyon Prince and his impact. Talk about what he did for you guys there.
Well, Canyon was just being Canyon. He's done that for us all year long. He's made huge plays on offense, huge plays on defense. He's rebounded. He just did what he does, and when, we really needed that from him tonight.
You guys head back to the game that you always want to be for, I lost track how many years in a row. What's going to be the message? What are these next 24 hours looking like for you guys?
Well, we'll see who we're going to play, and we'll prepare accordingly. But, this is typical on a Friday night at state tournaments. Nothing's easy. Tomorrow night won't be easy either, no matter who we're playing. So we just got to prepare ourselves mentally to be locked in for a full 4 quarters.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Nate.
Sioux Falls Christian now 22-1 on the season. And back to the ship.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
We came across this intriguing story.
Things are starting to get going.
Are you prepared?
It is a golden opportunity.
It's not over.
It will be all that you've dreamed of.
Sioux Falls Christian going back to the championship in a game that, for the most part, was really close until the very end. There were bodies on the floor, guys getting shaken up, cuts on the body, and physical play. But in the end, it was Sioux Falls Christian getting help off the bench. Canyon Prinz and starter Brant Wassenaar.
And this Hamlin team held Sioux Falls Christian almost 20 points below their season average. Did a nice job. Brant Wassenaar was Brant Wassenaar, went for 28. Only one other guy in double figures, Canyon Prinz with 14. Hamlin just couldn't get enough offense, especially in that fourth quarter down the stretch. Jackson Wadsworth led them with 15. Aiden Abraham, 3 threes, 11 points, but they were only able to get 7 points from Bowden Stevenson, who averages just under 18 coming into the tournament.
Who will Sioux Falls Christian face in the finals? One more semifinal game to come.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
Welcome back to Rapid City, the site of the state Class A boys basketball tournament semifinal night. Still to come, Clark Willow Lake taking on undefeated and the second seed West Central. The South Dakota High School Activities Association is a huge part of the sports and activities landscape here in South Dakota. Earlier this week, we had a chance to sit down with Executive Director Dan Swartos to learn more about the organization's mission and commitment to our kids in the state.
Well, our overall mission is to provide the framework for education-based athletics and fine arts activities for high school students across the state. So we've got about 177 member schools. Those are public schools, private schools, and federal schools. It encompasses about 50,000 kids. About 32,000 of those kids participate in some form or fashion in one of our activities. I think it's just over 30 different activities that we do between the sports and fine arts activities. And in a lot of ways, some of those fine arts activities are just as, or if not more impactful to those kids. You know, I was at state debate a couple weeks ago, and those kids are just as excited as the kids who are winning a state basketball championship. Or we had our second ever esports state tournament this year, and I had a parent come up to me and just say, "Thank you for sponsoring this. You know, my kid has never had a connection to the school or a connection to other kids outside of this, and now this has given him an avenue where he feels a part of the school. It's teaching kids how to win and lose. It's teaching kids leadership skills, character skills, integrity, working with other people, being a good teammate. There's a lot of life skills that go beyond winning and losing and the actual participation part of it. I have to remind myself all the time, I get to come to work and work for 50,000 kids every day and do things that are going to make their day better if we do it right and then we do it well.
Dan, we appreciate your work. We appreciate everybody's work at the High School Activities Association, and us at SDPB truly appreciate the relationship we have with that great organization. Semifinal night here in Rapid City. Who's going to take on Sioux Falls Christian in the finals tomorrow?
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Welcome back to the Summit Arena at the Monument in Rapid City. State A Boys Basketball Tournament. I'm Craig Maddock, along with Nate Kading. And Nate, let's look at our final semifinal match of the day, as West Central will be taking on Clark Willow Lake. And for the Cyclones, making their 7th appearance at the boys tournament, the 2nd straight. Clark Willow Lake did have a title back in 2019. It was in the Class Bs at the time, taking out DeSmet. Take a look at the First Dakota National Bank starting lineups.
And this Clark Willow Lake squad, balanced offensively. Chris Beavers, their lead guard, was vital for him last night. 24 points. Alongside him, Emerson Larson had 18. They are joined in the starting lineup. Jacob Steen, 25, Bo Bagaman, long, 6'6" junior, and their talented 6'8" sophomore, Sullivan Felberg.
And the head coach is Jerome Nesham. 28 years with the boys, his 30th overall. Jerome had a couple of years with the girls. In fact, when the girls were playing in the fall, he would do the girls and then coach the boys when they played in the winter. So a long-time coach, Jerome Nesham. And Clark Willow Lake will take on West Central, the undefeated Trojans. They're the number 2 seed. They're making their 8th appearance to the boys basketball tournament, their 2nd straight. Last title for West Central, got to go back to the Josh Mueller years. Their last title was in 2001 when Trojans put up 104 points against Newell. A couple of runner-ups as well with West Central. First Dakota National Bank starting lineups.
And last night it was the Connor Mebius show. 5'10" junior had 25 points. Joined in the lineup by Boche Knight, Hayden Hire, Colt Gary, and another big fella inside, the 6'10", Will Cool. And the Trojans are led by first-year West Central coach, longtime South Dakota High School coach, Dave Hollenbeck.
Won 4 titles when he was at St. Thomas More. West Central trying to get to the title game for the first time in 25 years, and Clark Willow Lake, like we mentioned, in 2019 when they were in Class B. You can follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Browse all of the action and award photos on Flickr. Just search SDPB. Read some of the great stories. Enjoy the videos which feature the teams and the kids and coaches of South Dakota. Semifinal night is always one of the fun nights of the year with high school basketball. We have determined one finalist. Who will join them? Let's meet the team and the players. Here's Scotty Jensen.
Good evening, Summit Arena fans at the Monument in Rapid City and everyone watching all over the world on SDPB. It is game number 2, the semifinal session of the State A Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Tonight's second semifinal game is between the Clark Willow Lake Cyclones and the West Central Trojans. This year, in partnership with the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the participating schools of the Boys State A Tournament and the officials of the tournament are proud to introduce the Junior Official Program. We appreciate the willingness of our officials to take part in this initiative and mentor younger individuals who have an interest in officiating. This program provides a great opportunity for youth to gain exposure to the officiating profession while learning from experienced officials in a state tournament environment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to welcome our junior officials for tonight's game. From West Central, Drew Ball. And from Aberdeen, Tate Lorenz. Introducing our officials for tonight's game, the referee is Darren Lorenz. The umpires are Brad Coleman and Joe Beeler. How about a hand for our officials? Introducing the head coaches for each team. First, the head coach for the Clark Willow Lake Cyclones, Jerome Nesham. And the head coach for the West Central Trojans, Dave Hollenbeck. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Channel Seed alternating starting lineups. First, for the Clark Willow Lake Cyclones, starting at guard, a 6'4" senior number 3, Emerson Larson. For the Trojans at guard, a 5'10" junior number 0, Connor Mevius. For the Cyclones at guard, a 6'3" junior number 5, Chris Beavers. For the Trojans at guard, a 5'6" junior number 1, Boshi Knight. For the Cyclones at forward, a 5'11" junior number 21, Jacob Steen. For the Trojans, at guard, a 6'1" junior number 3, Hayden Heyer. For the Cyclones, at forward, a 6'6" junior number 25, Bo Begeman. For the Trojans, at center, a 6'5" senior number 5, Colt Gary. And for the Cyclones, at forward, a 6'8" sophomore number 33, Sullivan Thumberg. And for the Trojans, at forward, a 6'10", senior number 23, Will Cool.
Time for Nate's notes. Nate, what's important for Clark Willow Lake tonight?
They want to get that basketball inside. Paint touches, whether it's strides, post touches, offensive rebounds. Defensively, They need to cut the head of the snake off, limit Connor Mebius, especially his penetration where he makes other people better and himself. West Central, stay true to their defensive principles. This Clark Willow Lake squad, they got guards, wings, bigs, they got to be locked in. And lastly, they're best offensively when they're working inside out.
Fellberg and Cool will jump. Our referee, Darren Lorenz, will toss it. These teams played late January, and it was West Central with a 3-point win. Here's Fellberg. West Central has Colt Gary on Fellberg. Mebius. He is the one that Clark Willow Lake really has to worry about the most. So dangerous, whether he's coming down the lane, hitting from the wing.
You saw that pace that he's able to push there with.
That's Knight. And it's going to be a push on Colt Gary. It is on Colt, his first.
Puzzle number 5, Colt Gary is first. Team 1.
Coach Nesham says they got 4 guys on offense that can score. Of course, Sully, he says, is the real deal. He's got Beavers, who's the second leading scorer, plus Larson. Really likes the way his offense has produced this year.
And they've tried to run Beavers with that back screen inside. First 2 possessions.
Knight. Oh, he missed it, but the put back by Cool.
Trojans smartly fouled that thing up. But Hayden Heyer right now getting the Chris Beavers assignment. We talked about how big he was yesterday. 24 points, 10 of 14 from the floor.
Here's Mebius. Check that, Hayden Heyer. Now here's Mebius. Always looking to make something happen.
Boche Knights had a few clean ones to start off with. He only shoots 24% from out there, but 0-2 here early on.
Fellberg is at 6'8", guy that can play the point if he has to. And of course, important on the low block. This will go to the Trojans. Mebius with 25 points last night, had 2 from beyond the arc.
Both teams trying to settle themselves in offensively.
And Larson is fouled. It's on Boche Knight, his first.
Couple early turnovers for the Cyclones. They got 2 of them here early on, only attempted 2 field goals.
Fellberg against Gary. Steen?
Yeah, and they're using Steen as a help guy right now. Whoever's guarding Steen, provide an extra help anywhere else.
Here's the big guy. Will Cool, his second bucket.
He looked at that quick spin, is patented. Begeman had cut that off, so he came back with the left. You can see right now both Fellberg and Cool guarding different matchups. They got Colt Gary on Fellberg and Begeman on Cool.
It's going to be a great matchup there with Gary and Fellberg. 7 to shoot. The quick release. Fellberg has no problem trying to hit from the outside. Fellberg, number 2 on the team on 3-point shots. He had one last night. But Will Cool getting a quick start for West Central.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
The Summit Arena is got a great crowd tonight with Clark Willow Lake on your left, West Central on your right.
Got some juice in the building on semifinal Friday.
The lob to Will, and he'll go to the line.
It's a nice find right there from Connor Beebius. Came off that ball screen action, had two guys on the ball, and right back to that big.
Will Cool, 6'10", senior, 16 a game, 84% from the free throw line, but he's now 1 for 5 from the line in the tournament.
Five early points from Cool, 5 for West Central, and you're seeing their ability defensively. In my opinion, probably the best half-court defense in the tournament.
And Steen tried to tip it in, and now a jump ball. It goes to West Central. Last time West Central was in the championship game, 2001. Trojan folks will remember that one against Newell.
And they were they were trying to slide under those ball screens. And that's a dangerous proposition against Connor Mebius.
Cool on the boards. Clark Willow Lake going with that man-to-man defense. As Bellberg going up against Wagner right now, West Central. This is Wagner. Higher, he traveled.
Pretty good defensive possession right there from Clark Willow Lake. And honestly, there just wasn't a whole lot of pressure put on them from the Trojans beyond one post touch to Tanner Wagner. Didn't like what he had that kick out.
Carter Gross and Bubba Kono in for the Trojans. Steen again, missing from the low left block. Clark Willow Lake brings in Joey Reese.
And this West Central team definitely deeper than Clark Willow Lake. Joey Reese played just over 4 minutes yesterday. Miles Ellison a couple minutes, but they like to ride those 5 starters a lot.
And And offensive foul on the Trojans. It's going to be on Will Cool. Look for number 23 here.
Adam, I think, as they were trying to set up that back cut too, which was there, but had Cool when he was trying to go into that second action.
Felberg. Boy, Clark Willow Lake.
They're just having to settle for a lot of tough mid-range pulls right now.
Here's Beavers. Beavers averages 15 a game. Just lost the ball.
You can see West Central, they'll be really patient offensively.
And hand check against the Cyclones.
It's going to be Bagaman's second foul.
Your sub is Jacob Steen.
Steen back in for Clark Willow Lake. Rebius.
It's a quality look right there. Ran him off a gut handoff right up the middle.
And we'll go to the Trojans.
It's going to be the fourth Clark Willow Lake turnover here.
Timeout called as Miles Olson getting ready to come in for Clark Willow Lake. Second year in a row that Clark Willow Lake made the state tournament. Sophomore Sullivan Felberg says this year's team's been working hard to become stronger.
It's been good. A lot of growth from last season. We came state tournament last year and we didn't do very well, but I think we got a lot stronger and we can definitely have a good chance to make a deep run. Just work hard as we can and just crash the boards, play defense hard as we can, and just if you have an open shot, take it. But just most mainly work hard and crash the boards. We're close together. We've been with each other for about 2 years now, and we've got a lot closer, and we just really work hard and just work well together. Just take one game at a time and just work hard as you can and just see where it takes us. Yeah, it's a big stage, but I know me and my teammates are ready for it, so yeah.
Oh yeah, I like it when they say, yeah, I think we'll be ready for it. There's Cool with the little bit of a sky hook there that falls
and they
short.
got him on the duck in there. He was on that weak side block coming off the ball screen. Caught the basketball in the position that you wanted. Just didn't finish it strong enough.
Rebound by Steen. And Jacob Steen gets the offensive board and scores.
At about a 10-second differential between game and shot clock.
Gross. Will Cool, there's the left hand. That is so tough to stop.
If he's going to be able to catch the basketball that deep right there, he's going to be tough to stop.
It'll count if it goes. Done with one. The undefeated second seed Trojans with a hot first start.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Clark Willow Lake fans showing their support for the basketball squad. Lowest scoring first quarter I think we've had in a long time.
Yeah, not a whole lot going real well for the Cyclones offensively right now. They've had to settle for some tough contested twos. 0 of 5 from 3 right now as well.
Got to get it up. And it's shot clock violation.
In the grit that this West Central team is guarded with, staying in front of drives. They're leaving Will Cool in that paint, trying to switch out to have him protect that rim.
Trojans are 4 of 11 from the floor. That was blocked by Begeman.
They've gotten that duck in multiple times coming off those ball screens.
Bellberg with the double team. Steen to Begeman. And 5'6", Bochi Knight with a rebound. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Bochi. Second foul on Knight.
They got him after he delivered that thing, just continued his momentum right into Chris Beavers.
Clark Willow Lake 1 for 12 from the floor.
You can see now they got Bellberg more in the block, but immediately when he touches, they're bringing that double team.
Steal by, that was Kono.
Colton Gary with the high pickup over the top. Slow step into the finish.
Right to higher. Here's Beavers.
West Central only 1 of 6 from 3. Clark Willow Lake 0 of 6 from 3.
Beavers is 0 for 5 shooting. Been a really tough first half. Larson. Boy, Larson and Beavers was the 1-2 punch last night. They could come down the lane, didn't miss a lot of shots, but it's just been a little tougher tonight.
And West Central's had some zone 1 finishes that they just haven't converted. And there's it's a lid on it for both groups right now.
And the reverse layup for Will Cool. Timeout, Clark Willow Lake. Oh, the 6'10" senior coming in with a reverse layup.
And he had Bellberg just up in the air just enough initially to get that angle. Uses the rim as protection. The nifty finish. Will Kuhl up to 9 points right now, 4 of 6 from the floor. And this Clark Willow Lake team has just been stymied so far. 1 of 17.
Ouch.
And a lot of them have been tough contested shots. Steen had that point blank one that you got to convert. But otherwise, there hasn't been a whole lot of clean looks.
Even though Clark Willow Lake is down by 12, it seems that couple of shots here by the Cyclones, make a couple quick baskets, get right back in the game.
A lot of time left, Craig. Yeah, and I don't think they're going anywhere here, but they got to find a way to create some better shots right now.
Feldberg, they're trying to see what he can do out in the wing and down low.
Yeah, and every time he touches it, there's multiple bodies around trying to go into.
Beckerman, guarded by Kuhl. Mebius, the feed, Kono.
And West Central will push. When they get a clean rebound and they have numbers, they'll go. No clean rebound, they're gonna settle down, run offense, try to take time.
It will be Trojans ball when we come back.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Little concern there, the Clark Willow Lake crowd. Fast start for the Trojans and Cyclones. It's been a little tough right now. Got some trivia for you. State tournament record. Who has the record for most points scored in 3 games in championship play? State tournament record, the player with the most points scored in 3 games in championship play. We'll have the answer for you coming up.
Connor Mebius a little off the mark. They had set a little ball screen into the stagger.
Feldberg gets the 3. He's number 2 on the team and 3-point shots made.
In their second made field goal right there. We'll see if that can open some things up.
Basket by Wagner, and Tanner with his first basket.
Yeah, 2 sophomore bigs just going at it right there. Good aggressive take by Wagner.
And a hold away from the ball against Tanner Wagner, his first. Look right there.
Yeah, they were trying to run that same action where Felberg comes off that baseline stagger and is trying to be super physical with it.
Felberg. Oh, and he's fouled beyond the arc. Three free throws coming. I think that's happened 4 times today in the games we've covered.
Everyone has watched too much James Harden, Craig. Too much James Harden. NBA had to implement rules because it was getting out of hand.
Wagner with his second foul. In for West Central is Colt Gary.
And Felberg, 1-of-1 from the foul line last night. Just under an 80% free throw shooter. Gets all 3 of them to go.
Mebius resetting the offense. Cool and Gary. And the back door, looking to try to get a little loop here for Will Cool. Felberg with the rebound.
Yeah, they've had a few chances right around the rim. Both teams, frankly.
Trying to get Larson and Beavers in this, get it going for Clark Willow Lake. The 6'10 sophomore leading the way for West Central. Mebius has it blocked by Larson. Here's Bagaman. Count it. And 1. Oh, wait. Offensive foul. Basket's good. I'm a little confused here as everybody else.
I think the Clark Willow Lake crew is a little confused.
It is. It's not an offensive foul. Count the basket by Begeman. Still haven't marked who had made the foul, but count the basket anyway. Both sides were kind of holding their hands up, going, what's going on here? Here's Cool. Offensive board by Heyer.
It's a great hustle play there by Hayden Heyer.
The kick to Mebius. His second 3.
And those are the 3s. Drive and kick, beat set.
West Central's biggest lead has been 14. Oh, nice pitch down low, and there's Jacob Steen, his second basket. Nice find. Will Cool, 9 points. Mebius with 6 here in this first half. Down low to Gary, and he is fouled. I think this is going to be on Steen. It is on Jacob Steen. It is his first. And at the line is Colt Gary. 49% from the line on the season. All right, here's your answer to the trivia. Which player holds the record for most points scored in 3 games? Yeah, that guy. Josh Mueller back in 2001. Had 32 in the first round, 60 in the semis, and 55 in the championship. Yeah, that was an awesome year. Cyclones will take last shot. Oh, underneath. That is Emerson Larson. He gets his first basket of the game right before the buzzer. And Dave Hollenbeck is with Nate.
Coach held them to 2 points there in that first quarter, and overall pretty gritty defensive half. What do you need to clean up on that side of the floor going into the second?
Well, we got to make sure we don't foul, and we got to get tougher on the boards. We got a couple guys slipping and getting to the basket on us, and that's really hurt us.
Awesome. Go back in your team with your locker room, or go back with your team in your locker room.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Oh, Coach Hollenbeck. He is with his first year with West Central, and we are at halftime.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the area in front of the band. Today's tournament band has been providing excellent music. Today's band is the Rapid City Christian Pep Band under the direction of Matt Poto and Kylie Hammett. Presenting the Band of the Day Award is Division I representative of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, Mr. Jordan Bauer. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice round of applause to today's Band of the Day, the Rapid City Christian Pep Band. Thank you, band, for the great music today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the center of the playing court. Each year, the South Dakota High School Activities Association is proud to present its Distinguished Service Award to individuals who have made a significant contribution to the furtherance of high school activities in our state. The recipients of this award exemplify the very highest ideals of service to both the association and the youth of our state. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the deepest gratitude that the South Dakota High School Activities Association's Distinguished Service Award is being presented this evening to Mr. Dave Brushbreaker. Dave Brushbreaker is an enrolled member of the Sikanju Lakota Oyate Rosebud Sioux Tribe. A Todd County High School graduate, he pursued studies in criminal justice at Mary College, Sinta Gleska University, and Huron College. For over 20 years, Dave has served on the St. Francis Indian School Board, including terms of vice chairman and chairman. Dedicating himself to putting students first, he credits his family, his wife Connie, 3 children and 6 grandchildren, and his colleagues for their support and guidance throughout his service. Wapila Tonka for this recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Dave Brushbreaker. You can find Dave's complete bio in your program. Got a Class B final, number 6, Wall 7.
Congratulations to all of our award winners here today. The South Dakota High School Activities Association All-State Band Concert is going to hit the stage a week from tomorrow. It'll be March 28th, 5 o'clock Central, 4 Mountain, and it's going to be live right here in Rapid City. It's going to be at the Rushmore Theater here at the Monument. You'll be able to catch the stream at sdpb.org/band. And then SDPB will also record the performance for a special TV broadcast coming up in April on SDPB TV. Proud to team up with the South Dakota High School Activities Association and showcase the incredible talent of the young South Dakotans. Highlights, stats from the first half when we come back.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Highlights from our first half. It was West Central getting out to a 4-0 lead. Then it was 8-0. And then 12-2. And then they got their biggest lead at 16-2 before Willow Lake comes back. And eventually they outscore West Central in the second quarter, 12-11.
Yeah, finally got some things going in that second. Pretty balanced scoring. Sullivan Felberg with 6. Jacob Steen, a couple hustle plays, counted for 4 points for West Central. It's been their main 2. Will Cool with the big 9 points, 4 of 8 from the floor. Connor Mebius, 2 big 3s, and then 3 guys chipping in a bucket apiece in Colt Gary and Bubba Kono and Tanner Wegner.
You're Jerome Nesham. What were you telling the team at halftime?
Yeah, we got to free themselves up offensively. West Central's switching a lot of actions right now, so you got to look for slips. You got to anticipate that, even screening your own people, and then just not settling for those tough contested jumpers.
BBS with 2 baskets in the first half. Both were from beyond the arc. Now, Mebius is one of those guys, if he has any kind of separation close to the bucket, nice jump shot, airs it up.
Yeah, Beavers has done a decent job trying to stay in front. And you can see West Central right now, they're helping off Bo Bagaman and then closing out late.
Felberg with the rebound.
You can see Will Cool just planted on the inside when Bagaman's on the perimeter.
Too strong. Nice steal by Jacob Steen.
He's made some nice hustle plays there. Create that turnover he's got on the offensive glass. You can see Bagaman only shoots 14% from 3 and only hit 10 of them coming into the tournament on the entire season. Didn't attempt one last night.
That's Sully Felberg with his second tray. He's got 9.
And you see that skill level.
How about Cool?
Bo-J Knight, smallest guy on the floor, coming up with that. Every possession in these lower scoring games matters.
And a foul before the shot. What are they going to do here? Foul was on the ground. Blocking foul. All right, 2 shots coming for Mebius.
Team 1 at the line, Connor Mebius.
Yeah, and I think Coach Hollenbeck was wanting that goaltend call as well, as Clark Willow Lake, it appeared, went up and pinned that off the glass. Yeah, so you can't legally do that once it hits the board. I think they were saying that foul took place maybe before he got in the act of shooting, but then they shouldn't have been shooting free throws, so I'm not exactly sure on that one.
Bubba Kono is in for West Central. Run down by Larson. And Larson and Beavers getting a lot of scoring last night. They had more Well, more than half of the points for Clark Willow Lake last night. And Beavers hasn't scored yet. Larson with 1 basket.
Yeah, Hayden Heyer's been the one that's had the responsibility of chasing Beavers around much of the night.
Offensive foul.
And that was a pretty easy one right there as Baggerman slid on that baseline pin. It's going to be his 3rd foul. In this Clark Willow Lake group, they did play. Reese played 2 minutes, Olson played 1. We're riding with their main people.
Cool. Oh, he gets by Felberg. And Cool with 11.
Just see the versatility right there. That's 2 times where he showed that shot fake. Driven right to the rim.
Steen. Up to Cool.
And this is big right now from West Centrals. They got Connor Mebius getting a blow on the bench. And they're stretching this lead out.
That's Begeman.
And the Trojans just really playing personnel defensively.
That's Cool. Rebound by Kono. To Heyer.
Some of your best looks come off offensive rebound kickouts. And that was a really good feet set one from Heyer.
Give to Felberg. Cool with the rebound. Just been tough shooting here for Clark Willow Lake, and Bochi Knight gets the tray. He had 1 last night.
He was 0-2 from out there in the first half and drills a big one to make this a 15-point game.
It is the biggest lead of the game. That's Begeman, and he'll get the roll. Poe with his 2nd basket.
Hasn't been a stoppage of play here for a little while. Both groups are a little fatigued.
This is Heyer. Begeman.
And they're giving Begeman that shot.
2 of 15 from 3-point land, and the basket by Heyer. His first basket.
It's good patience there from Hayden Heyer in transition. Decelerated down.
Timeout. The Trojans trying to get to the finals as Will Cool, the tallest player, and Bochi Knight, the smallest, getting it done for the Trojans.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
West Central student section here tonight in Rapid City. Drive by Reese. That's blocked by Cool. Up tonight. And the basket by Wagner.
That was a heady play right there from Boche Knight. He knew Felberg was trailing him. If he would have went up with it, likely blocked. Dropped it off to Tanner Wagner for his second bucket of the game.
Barely able to keep it alive. Here's Larson, and it's an offensive foul on Emerson Larson.
Looked like Cool was set there. In pretty good legal guarding position.
Will Cool with 13 points tonight. Mebius with 10. Inside to Wagner.
And Boche Knight just as a Energizer bunny.
The basket by Joey Reese. Here's Cool. Elvis able to knock that one out of the way.
Shot clock off here. Cyclones could create a little bit more momentum. They get a bucket here.
Beavers. And that will lead us to the end of the third quarter. West Central in control here in Rapid City.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Clark Willow Lake crowd still thinking they got a run or two left in them against West Central. They might need Batman or Superman.
Every possession is going to be important because this West Central team, as Boche Knight makes another hustle play.
And the finish! And all started with Boche Knight.
He's made some big plays, only has 3 points, but his impact in the game, 50-50 basketballs, creating more possessions for his team.
Larson, and he'll go to the line and shoot one.
They've tried to isolate that matchup inside because Connor Mebius is on Larson, and they haven't had a whole lot of success getting it to him and then successfully finishing.
This is Gross. Knight. And Mebius.
This Trojans group just they got no problem being patient, running offense, got to match up inside.
And Gross will go to the line. Carter Gross. Foul was on Emerson Larson, his second. Here's Carter Gross, 67% shooter, went 1 for 2 last night. West Central has not gone to the free throw line much tonight. This will be the 8th free throw of the game. They went 7 of 11 against Cheyenne Eagle Butte yesterday.
Neither team really got in there a ton. Clark Willow Lake only 3 of 5. And neither team, frankly, shooting it all that well from 3. The Cyclones 2 of 16. Trojans only 3 of 13. But those points in the paint, Trojans are plus 10.
Steen. Well, Cool now with 10 rebounds. Wagner lost it. Beavers with the pull-up jumper, and for Chris, his first basket. 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. That's not like Chris Beavers.
Yeah, started 0 of 8, and he's just such a big part of their balanced offense, averaging 15 a game, stringing a couple turnovers together.
Larson loses it. Cyclones still trying to get a run. Wagner against Steen. Tipped away by Larson. Check that, was by Beavers.
They've strung a few stops together. They got to utilize this time.
Watch out. It's going to go against Clark Willow Lake. Going to go on Felberg. It is going to go on Sully.
In the rim tonight has just had Clark Willow Lake 10 of 42, under 25%.
Timeout.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Clark Willow Lake coming into, here's the steal, by the way, with Knight. Gets it back, and the finish to the big guy.
You love that hustle play right there. Establishes them back in bounds and then leads the break. West Central, no field goals in the last 2:42, so they're allowing Clark Willow Lake to hang around.
That hit the side of the backboard. Larson. Begeman on the jumper. Oh, that looked good by Bo. He's got 6 points. It was a 55-52 win for West Central over Clark Willow Lake back on January 24th.
Plenty of time here. West Central has struggled to find much good offense here as of late.
Begeman. Is he going to go all the way? He is, and he'll score with a left hand. 10-point deficit. It was 15. Who's going to take control here for the Trojans? Typically, Mebius is the one that will start the offense.
And they're trying to shorten this game, but they're just not getting great stuff at the end of the shot clock.
5 to shoot. Pull up by Higher. Bellberg on the rebound.
Scoreless drought, each reaching 4 minutes for the Trojans.
Inside, Beavers block. Watch out, here we go. It's gonna go to West Central. And they'll have the ball when we come back.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Clark Willow Lake crowd here tonight. West Central with the ball. They led by 15. It was 32-17. 12-7 run there by Clark Willow Lake. Jacob Steen will pick up the foul.
Ran a little cross screen action there. They like the matchup. Steen's trying to match up with Colt Gary, and that's Steen with the bump. The Trojans still do have 5 timeouts down the stretch. Clark Willow Lake only 2. 3 fouls for the Cyclones, and Trojans only 1 here in this 4th quarter. Got a full shot clock here as well.
Mebius with 4 points in the second half, and he's going to go to the line. Foul on Jacob Steen. That's his 3rd. Connor Mebius, 25 points last night. Went 3 for 3 from the line last night. He's 2 for 2 in this game.
up to 11 points on the night. Only 3 of 10 from the floor. Has probably missed some uncharacteristically in the paint and around the rim.
A dozen for Mebius.
Extend out, just trying to take a little. Every second matters. Now they just match up.
Here's Spellberg. Kind of putting the team on his back, and he's going to go to the line, and Will Cool has picked up his 3rd foul.
And they've just let Cool roam defensively in there. He's just protected to the paint. He's always been matched up on Bagaman, who they're allowing to shoot clean threes and living with the result. So far, it's working out okay. Bagaman's only 0 of 2 from out there.
Only the 2nd free throw shot in the 2nd half. In for Clark Willow Lake, it's Miles Olson.
And Cool, the stats only have him for 2 blocks, but he's impacted so many more scoring opportunities in there.
11 for Feldberg. Under 2 minutes to play. Timeout by Dave Hollenbach of West Central.
30-second timeout.
It's a 30-second timeout. The winner of this game gets Sioux Falls Christian here tomorrow night. Sioux Falls Christian making their 4th straight trip to the finals. Sioux Falls Christian's only loss on the year, West Central.
In a similar fashion as this, really guarding them, lower scoring. The Trojans just having enough offense to get it done. And it's a recipe that's worked for them. Still plenty of time here for the Cyclones, but you can't even probably take this clock down to guard. Maybe you do it one more time, but you got to be aggressive. Look for trap opportunities.
The foul on Larson. Check that. It's going to be on Begeman. And for Bo, that's his 4th.
And they're going to be in the bonus, and that's, yeah, Connor Mebius is not the guy that you want to put on the foul line. 80% shooter, 4 of 4 tonight.
Didn't miss yesterday either.
Didn't miss yesterday either.
As Will Cool. I don't know whether he got poked in the eye or hit in the nose. See if he comes out or if he's going to stay in or not. I think they're going to, they're going to bring him out. Bloody nose is what he got. So they'll plug the nostril and get him ready to come back in.
Yeah, I think it was his eye that he was actually grabbing as he put some drops in it over there, I think.
Looked like it was a nose thing. Boink.
Take it from a guy that's broken his nose about 8 times, Craig. He's still putting the drops in the eyes over there.
Oh, left alone, down low. That's Larson. And Clark Willow Lake takes the timeout. Still a 10-point game with just over a minute and a half to play.
And that's one of the only times where there's been a miscommunication on a switch situation that left 2 white jerseys on one and Emerson Larson wide open underneath that rim.
Will Cool will be back in after the timeout.
And you want to try to be able to create a turnover. They'll be up extended, probably 1-2-1-1, look to trap aggressively on that first pass. That weak side guard needs to make a decision whether they're taking reversal, taking middle. And then once they get into the front court, then you got to think about playing the long game and putting them on the free throw line. You can see Connor Mebius right now taking the basketball out of bounds.
Here's Heyer. Mebius will go to the line. And Chris Beavers. That would be his second.
And well done with their ball security there. That's one of the reasons why they have Mebius. As much as you'd like him to be the receiver, that's why he's taking it out, because he's the best passer, surest passer that they have.
Substitutions are Jacob Steen and Bo Begeman.
Jacob Steen back in, and Bo Begeman for the Cyclones. (16) for Mebius. Oh, an offensive foul on Begeman, and he is done. If that's on Begeman, it is, and that is going to be Bo's 5th foul, and he is fouled out. And the quick foul. That's on Larson, his 3rd, and they'll walk the other end to shoot the free throws.
Cyclones foul number 3, Emerson Larson is 3rd.
This will be Heyer's first trip to the foul line tonight. First trip to the foul line all tournament. Didn't go there last night either. And he's only a 54% free throw shooter as he shy on the first.
Steen back in for the Cyclones. Three points for Heyer. Deep in the corner. Oh, caught right by Beavers. And Beavers with just his 2nd basket. Full timeout. My time to invite you to join me with my latest podcast with SDPB. My podcast, it's called In Play. And my most recent podcast we released this week, one of the greatest all-time multi-purpose athletes in South Dakota, and his name is Garnie Henley. Folks up at Hayti and Huron will remember Garnie. He led Hayti to 4 straight basketball appearances. 1954 they won the title. Didn't play football at Hayti because they didn't have football. Then went to Huron College, played football, became a national star, drafted by the Packers in 1960. And then on the last day of training camp, Vince Lombardi traded him. And Garnie Henley became a Hall of Famer in the Canadian Football League. A great conversation with Garnie Henley. Go to the podcast, go to sdpb.org/inplay. Not only my interview with Garnie Henley, but all the others over the past 6 years. And thank you for your support. That will go on Felberg. And for Sully, that's his 2nd. Time is winding down here for the Cyclones.
Yeah, no timeouts any longer for the Cyclones. So even if they get a bucket, they got to make sure that they're extending their defense right away. Will Kuhl 1 of 2 tonight from the foul line.
Jacob Steen back in for Clark Willow Lake. For Cool.
Just want to force them to take as much time as they possibly can.
Yeah, that foul's going to be on Kono, and Bubba picks his first foul.
And only their third team foul. Still have one more to give, and that's kind of what they've tried to do to Felberg. He does have 11, only guy in double figures, but they've been uber physical with them. 2 of 9 from the floor.
Olsen! Miles gets his first points of the tournament. And the quick foul.
Like he's been doing that a lot. He was only 4 of 19, excuse me, on the season coming into the tournament from 3.
Found a diamond in the rough. Looked like he'd been shooting that all season.
It's still plenty of time left here. You're going to need some help from West Central from the foul line, and Connor Mebius is probably not giving it to you.
9 for 9 from the floor for Mebius. A quick one and count it. And Beavers with the basket and a chance for one more at the free throw line. In for Clark Willow Lake is Talon Huber. Make this an 8-point deficit. And the foul on Bo Chi-Knight. Bo went 2 for 2 last night, but he's a 54% shooter at the line. And foul was on Huber. His first.
Yeah, and sometimes when you got a tight, deep trap like that, you may want to stick with it, but they're being pretty physical on the basketball.
Steen back in. First trip to the line tonight for Bochy.
Clark Willow Lake is actually 4 of their last 4 from the floor. This is their best little stretch of offense that they've had the entire game. Held to 21 points through the first 3 quarters. They've already scored 20 this quarter.
Yep, second consecutive trip for West Central to the state tournament. And recently we spoke with Connor Mebius on the practice strategy that brought them here.
I have really great teammates, and the guys are awesome. The coaches are awesome. Managers are awesome. It's just a really fun group of guys to play basketball with and hoop, and you make a lot of memories doing it. 5th place last year, and this year we've worked even harder, and it's been intense in practice, and we've been ready to go and trying to prove something this year. We're a lot more intense. We're a lot more bought in as a team this year, and we're focused on the main goal. Practices, we kind of hone in on defense a lot, and I say that's helped us this year. And it's always defense first leads to offense. So if we can hone in on the defensive side, we can be intense, physical, and that'll make the offense go. Just go in and hunt, try and beat every team best we can, and give it our all.
Well, Connor has had a fantastic season. 25 last night. He has 18 tonight. 10 of those points have come from the free throw line. Olsen. Mebius with the rebound and the foul. Clark Willow Lake folks were hoping for a jump ball.
And that was probably the one stop that the Trojans needed right there to probably cement this thing. It's been a parade to the free throw line here as of late, and Connor Mebius up to 11 of 11 from the line, 11 of his 19 from the charity stripe.
17 of the points for West Central have come from the free throw line. Oh, and thrown away. If you remember, West Central was on a roll back in 1999 and 2000 and 2001. They made it to the state title game 3 times. They got 2 titles in 2000 and 2001, and that's been the last time that West Central has been to the championship game.
It's been a while.
30-second timeout.
And when you look at this Clark Willow Lake roster and squad, Emerson Larson is a senior, that they'll lose, but they got a host of younger guys, Beavers Jr., Steen Jr., Bagaman Jr., Felberg sophomore. It's a good group to continue to build with.
West Central, by the way, did win the consolation championship a year ago. Beat Hill City a year ago. And the football toss tonight. And Mebius will go to the line. And that's on Olson.
His second. 2 shots for Connor Mebius.
Don't have any records for free throws made in the state tournament, but if there were, I think Mebius would be right there, because.
And you got to give yourself a shot in a game of this magnitude, semifinals of the state tournament, that you hope that some missed free throws can go your way. But
14 for 14 for Mebius, and that's Will Cool going out.
And as a team, 20 of 26 from the line to cement this.
And it'll be Knight going to the line.
Number 21, Jacob Steen, Clark Willow Lake, his 4th.
Jacob Steen with the foul, his 4th.
On the line, Bochi Knight.
There's Bochi. He's 2 for 2 from the line tonight. For West Central, Braden Akingay coming in. There's Mebius and Heyer going out. Bubba Kono in, Carter Gross, Peyton Tetzloff. And for Selberg, he'll just dunk it home. Impressive performance, though, by the Trojans. For the first time in 25 years, the Trojans will play for a championship tomorrow night. West Central 24-0, and they'll take on the top seed and the defending champs, Sioux Falls Christian, tomorrow night. And those two teams played back on January 6th, and West Central beat Sioux Falls Christian 64-55. That'll be your matchup for the Class A championship tomorrow night. Mebius with 22 points for West Central. Felberg had 11 for Clark Willow Lake. Dave Hollenbeck, who recorded his 550th win this year. As he watches his team put their name on the board for the championship game. And Dave Hollenbeck is with Nate Kading.
Coach, you held that group to 21 points through 3. They got loose a little bit, but what was your guys' main emphasis defensively coming in tonight?
Well, you got to take care of Sully Felberg. You know, he's a fantastic player. He's so big. He can shoot. He can go outside, inside. He puts it on the floor. So we had to get him somehow contained. And then the first time we played them, they really hurt us on the boards. They killed us on the glass and probably should have beat us the first time. But I thought we did a lot better job on the boards tonight. So I was really happy with the effort there.
You guys are getting a rematch. You took care of them early on in the season. Probably the two teams that maybe people thought would be here. What's it going to take tomorrow night to walk away as a champion?
They're really good. I mean, you know, they got 2 D1 players, D2 player, NAI guy, and then a D2 football guy. So, and then they bring two big-time shooters off the bench. It's almost impossible. It's going to be tough.
All right, well, give it a run tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Nate. Appreciate it.
Coach Hollenbeck and the West Central staying unbeaten and going to the championship tomorrow night.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Semifinal night is complete, and the final entrant is going to be West Central. West Central taking advantage of kind of the poor shooting of Clark Willow Lake. Clark Willow Lake just had a tough night shooting, 20%, from the floor. They outscored Clark Willow Lake in the third quarter, but the Cyclones outscored West Central 22-20 in the fourth.
And they were really playing personnel and playing percentages and wanting to take away certain guys. Held this Cyclones team to 34% from the floor of the game. As you mentioned, Craig, 20% that first half. Only one guy in double figures, Felberg with 13. For the Trojans, Connor Mebius was a free throw fest down the stretch, knocked down all 14 of them, 22 points. Will Cool got him started off early, 16, and really won the rebound battle, won the turnover battle. Neither team shot it great from 3, but a really impressive performance on the defensive end of the floor for the Trojans.
We'll wrap things up when we come back.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Day 2 of the Class A boys basketball tournament is in the books, and here's what happened earlier today on the consolation side. We had a double overtime win by St. Thomas More over Groton area, and then Cheyenne Eagle Butte with a 1-point win over Stanley County. So tomorrow we'll get together at noon Central, 11 a.m. Mountain for the 7th place game. Groton area will take on Stanley County, followed by the consolation championship, St. Thomas More and Cheyenne Eagle Butte.
And then coming up in our evening session, 3rd and 4th place game first, we got the Hamlin versus Clark Willow Lake. Hamlin came up a little short, valiant effort against Sioux Falls Christian, and Clark Willow Lake was just stymied defensively. And then what everyone's been waiting for, 1 seed versus 2 seed, unbeaten West Central, 1 loss Sioux Falls Christian. Who was that 1 loss to? West Central. Should be a remarkable one tomorrow.
We'll get things going tomorrow night at 6 Central, 5 Mountain for 3rd place, and then the championship. Great work by everybody. Thank you. And for Nate Kading and the men and women of SDPB, I'm Craig Maddock. So long from Rapid City.